Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Yovela, co-founder of Fiamma. So we're a BitVM developer, and then what BitVM can enable us is that we can bridge Bitcoin, in the most trustless, secure manner to all different ecosystems. And it's also the first time that we can unlock both the asset and network security value of Bitcoin. And then I'm going to briefly introduce how we're going to, use BitVM to really build the most secure Bitcoin gateway. So the first question is that, what is BitVM and why does it actually matter, right? And then we have Bitcoin, and then some people, actually a lot of people are holding it, even though still the majority of the people on the planet don't even own Bitcoin. But as we can see that there are different type of ways of utilizing Bitcoin nowadays. And for instance, actually the most prevalent one and the mainstream one is WBTC. And then, however, even though WBTC is still the biggest one, it actually only utilize less than 1% of the overall market cap of Bitcoin. And then why is that? The main issue with WBTC is that it's more centralized, which means that when you're trying to mint the WBTC, you're actually, you're giving the Bitcoin, to somebody else, to entity, and then you trust that the entity won't, take your real Bitcoin away. So, so if you trust the entity, then it's fine. But what if there's something wrong, right? And then, so that's why that's a main reason why a lot of people are not really adopting, a lot of current tokenized Bitcoin at the moment. And then, as we can also see that there are more decentralized tokenized Bitcoin nowadays, like TBTC or LBTC by Lombard. And then they've done significant improvement in the level of decentralization of the tokenized Bitcoin with enhanced security. And then it actually also unlock more Bitcoin and bring more Bitcoin into DeFi ecosystem. However, it's still not enough. So currently, only fewer than 1.5% of Bitcoin is actually utilized. So what about the rest of the over 98%, right? So we can only unlock the most of the Bitcoin with when we get closer to achieve the objective security. So what it means is that we would rather just trust the infrastructure. We would trust the maybe we just trust that the internet, trust the technology rather than trusting to a certain entity. So that we can have the most trustless system. So that's why we are really working hard to develop a lot of trustless technology. So with BitVM, the trust assumption is really just existential honesty. What it means is that we only need one person or one program that can identify the issue when there is, and then definitely there will be rewards if the challenge is successful. So that basically the entire system is super secure. And okay, so now the second question is that, okay, it seems like, okay, it's a more trustless and secure way of utilizing Bitcoin and then minting tokenized Bitcoin. But why now, right? And then the thing is that while we actually have gone through some upgrades in Bitcoin, right? We have SegWit upgrade, Taproot upgrade that actually greatly enhance the scalability and programmability of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is still have really limited programmability. And then on the other hand, in the Ethereum ecosystem, when they're trying to scale Ethereum, the ZK technology is getting more and more mature. And then just, great thanks to Ethereum ecosystem and also, how ZK technology has developed, so that actually when we combine, Bitcoin, with ZK, we can see the magic. So here, I guess, people might be more familiar with what actually ZK rollups are on Ethereum. So basically, we just can, compress many computations, many transactions, this data into very succinct ZK proof that can be verified very easily on the Ethereum layer 1, so that we can use very, limited, minimal resources to do computation to ensure security and got the finality on the layer 1. So this is how we can actually scale Ethereum without compromising its security and decentralization. So similarly, with BitVM, we can actually achieve similar things for Bitcoin as well. So, so what actually is BitVM? So BitVM actually means that we can enable Bitcoin to verify ZK proof optimistically. So which means that when some malicious actor, like bridge operator, are acting maliciously, Bitcoin can find it out and then slash it like directly. So with this capacity, we can build a major like foundational trustless infrastructure on Bitcoin. So the first would be trust minimized bridge powered by BitVM or BitVM bridge. And the second would be to unlock the security value of Bitcoin. So we also build a Bitcoin settlement layer that implement BitVM as well, so that we can, when there's challenge, when the validator nodes on a settlement layer act maliciously, we can also let the Bitcoin to directly slash the malicious operators. So, so with these two core infrastructures, we can actually, make Bitcoin super expressive and fully unlock, trillions of value in Bitcoin. And so now I will talk a bit about how, BitVM work into like a bit more detail. So you just hear me like talking about, okay, we can now enable Bitcoin to verify ZK proof optimistically, but how actually we can achieve that, right? And we know that Bitcoin is like not that expressive. So what it actually means is that its intelligence level is like much lower than Ethereum. So what it means actually in practice and engineering is that when we're trying to write the same sort of program in Bitcoin script, it's actually, much, much larger than it is in a Turing complete environment like Ethereum. So definitely the first step to enable ZK verification on Bitcoin, the first step is to write the ZK verifiers in Bitcoin script. But in the beginning, it's super large. It's around 7 gigabytes. But after optimization, it's even lower than 1 gigabyte. So you may just wonder, right? Well, it's definitely large optimization, but it's still like much larger than the block size limit of Bitcoin, which is like 4 megabytes. So yeah, I got you. So that's why we also have the second step in the magic. The second step is called fragmentation. So we will break down the script into maybe 1,000, chunks, so that when there's issue of the entire ZK proof, then we would identify, okay, starting from which chunk there's an issue. And then we can just directly send this particular chunk to Bitcoin for verification. So far, in our team, we are actually achieving smaller than 400 kilobyte chunks, which actually means that we can enable Bitcoin to automatically pick up and process that transaction when there's a challenge that happens on Bitcoin. So why is that important? The thing is that even though we have like some sort of transaction that's like 3 megabytes, well, which is smaller than 4 megabytes, it still cannot be processed like automatically or naturally on Bitcoin. You have to really work with the miner to make it happen, because Bitcoin typical transaction size is around 400 kilobytes, and then any transaction above that is just too large for the miners to process them automatically. So this would definitely pose potential centralization risk. So far we already have the testnet ready. And we are closer to the most trustless future of Bitcoin than ever. And so I will talk a bit about our team, just a bit of introduction. So we did a lot of breakthrough in the ZK and BitVM technology. And the main reason is that we got a super ZK team. So our team actually have over 4 years of engineering experience in ZK. And then our co-founder, Simon, is also a ZK expert as well. So that's why, when there's like this paradigm in Bitcoin, we can quickly, make optimization and implementation very, very easily. And yeah, and then these are also some of our achievements in the BitVM technology. But I also want to mention that, to really, the technology is a very important part in, unlocking more potential in Bitcoin. Because, if it's not secure, if it's not, trustless, then a lot of institutions or bigger, Bitcoin holders, they're just not that willing to, just hand their Bitcoin to you. So just not mention, any further utilization. So definitely this is a really crucial part in achieving our vision of a Bitcoin based future. But however, there are also a lot of things that we need to consider. Also user experience and also more use cases for Bitcoin as well. And we know that people actually are using Bitcoin as storage of value, and it's actually a very good collateral for a lot of financial instruments like stable coins or different type of as collateral in perpetual trading. So many different things that actually can, with this technology, we can increase the utilization and capital efficiency of Bitcoin and the entire financial market. So yeah, so we are just in the beginning, and let's stay tuned for the most trustless future for Bitcoin with BitVM. Thank you.